Within the boys' canon, Compound V is the substance that gives regular humans superpowers, with the most common being super strength and near invulnerability, something that can be achieved temporarily with the right cocktail. Let me know in the comment section what superpower you would want if you were injected with Compound V. But before Kiefer Sutherland goes for a more organic approach to Compound V...
It's too late. My blood is in your veins.
Alright David, calm down. I like to say hello guys and gals. I'm Nick, and welcome to Furthy's Feedback. So, given the fact that The Boys is a pretty consistent parody of Marvel and DC, one would assume that Compound V was more or less a parody of Marvel's Super Soldier Serum or DC's Venom. However, it seems as though Compound V was actually inspired by a much more obscure comic, and one subtle reference confirms it. This inspiration in question is presumably Asterix the Gaul, a French comic published in the 60s. It followed the adventures of Asterix in the year 50 BC. As a baby, Asterix fell into a potion that grants him superhuman strength, a power he exhibited for the rest of his life so long as he regularly consumed doses of the potion. In fact, it was because of his super strength that a Centurion spy infiltrates Gaul to uncover the secret of Asterix's powers. This Centurion wanted to overthrow Julius Caesar, and he needed Asterix's powers to do that, and he would soon learn that the answers he sought were to be found in this mystical strength potion. In The Boys number 38 by Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson, readers are told the full backstory of the boy's female, aka Kamiko from the live-action series, who remains unnamed in the comics. When she was a baby, her mother brought her to her office job that was just down the hall from the scientific research laboratory dedicated to making a perfect synthetic copy of Compound V in an effort to compete with Vought American. Great parenting. It reminds me of this. The female's mother wasn't paying attention to her, so she crawled into the lab and climbed into a bucket filled with the residuals of this experimental substance and consumed all of it. From that point forward, the female was a soup, boasting super strength and a healing factor, at which point she was recruited by Butcher and the boys, as he wanted her to use her strength to take down Vought and their champion soup, Homelander. The female has virtually the same origin as Asterix the Gaul, with Compound V, or the exact copy substitute, being a stand-in for Asterix's strength potion, and her recruitment by Butcher and the boys mirrors the Centurion's efforts to use Asterix's power to overthrow Caesar. But there's also another connection that gives this theory some stronger legs to stand on than parallel plot points that could have otherwise been argued as total coincidences. The name of the scientist who created the synthetic Compound V, Dr. Udazu. This scientist shares the name with the co-creator of Asterix and the Gaul, Albert Udazu. What a coincidence!
What? It's just an ordinary crabby... Oh my goodness!
This is a subtle reference to be sure, but one that gives credibility to the idea that Asterix the Gaul inspired the boys' Compound V. The similarities in the origin story of Asterix and the female are a bit too close for coincidence, as there are narrative parallels between Butcher and the Centurion. But the thing that puts it over the top is the name of the boys' scientist being the same as the co-creator of Asterix and the Gaul, as that cements the reference and all but confirms this surprising inspiration for Compound V. You tell 'em, Jethro.
Coincidentally, in the taillight, right by our ruptured fuel line.
You know how I feel about coincidences, Ash.
Equatorial pygmies know how you feel about coincidences, Gibbs.